Um, uh, as you mentioned just then, in terms of the uncertain times, my next question is around that environment. So we're all working in an uncertain time, both within the industry perspective in terms of disruption, but also from the societal perspective with the ongoing pandemic. Um, so my question is, how can we best look to adapt to give ourselves, our teams, our organizations the best chance for success?
I think look, maybe on ourselves first. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
an element of reflection and self-awareness. Reflection and self-awareness and listening to yourself and to others is extremely difficult to do. Yeah, to listen to ourselves and to others in an authentic way, because it is about self-awareness and because the mindset we bring to a discourse, the mindset we bring to a communication or an intercourse determines the outcome. So being aware of the mindset we bring to a particular meeting, to a particular communication is important. So reflection is quite a big piece, yeah, in my thinking, and to find out what our own purpose is. Tell us what our own purpose is. Because somehow in our communication with our colleagues, we need to find a collective story and a collective narrative to energize the business, the organization
Mm-hmm.
purpose. Yeah. So some degree of patience is required. Degree of patience because time works chronologically, intervals of time, but there's also something called chronos is chronological time. Kairos is about strategic time, time for opportunity. We
Right.
could we could learn how to bicycle, but suddenly on a 5 second basis, you realize that you really know how to bicycle because suddenly you got it in terms of balancing. Or when you swim, you learn how to swim. I'm learning how to swim. And for 4 weeks, you don't get it, but suddenly for one session, you get it. That is kairos, yeah. Time suddenly,
Right.
suddenly your performance go up. And so we need to nurture uh, the chronos time. We go to meetings, but staying in the psychological space is key, because when the kairos moments come, and it will come if you are patient and if you have a good narrative, then the organization will move, and there will be waves, there will be tipping points, and there will be cascading effects. Yeah, and 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 in any change program or any audacious program, there will be champions and strong advocates, and there will be strong supporters, second movers in support of the movement. And there are people who watch and see, and that's perfectly fine because they're not sure. And there are people who resist, right? So you got to win as many over as possible. And that depends on the power of your purpose uh, and the meaning of your narrative and the metaphors you use. Yeah. So I think this space is no longer scientific. Yeah. It's not scientific, especially in the world of uncertainty. You really need uh, high agency in the face of uncertainty, which means that you're going to move your positions quite often because the environment is moving very quickly. In a period of low uncertainty, you could have your milestones and your KPIs and the roadmaps. Uh, and in a world of reasonable uncertainty and low agency, you could have scenario planning. Uh, we have pandemics in our risk register in the last 10 years, but it was there as a dot, yeah, and there's always a heat map, right?
Mm.
It was never in our narrative. Yeah, it was never in our metaphor because now the narrative has become multi-threaded, which means there are multi-narratives. It is a problem because even if you make management go through business contingency planning, and that is useful, teams divided and officers inaccessible, at least to test the system. But it's not in the foreground, because what we are moving into is a place called felt uncertainty, as opposed to uncertainty. Yeah, we have seen global crisis in the last 40 years. The Berlin Wall, the cruise missiles, the Greenham Common Movement, the fall of Tiananmen Square, not the fall, the demonstration, the Hong Kong riots, May 13 in Malaysia, Vietnam War, but we never quite feel it globally, yeah, because it's all distributed. But I think in the last 12 months, something has changed. Yeah, I felt it was probably the greatest event in my lifetime. I felt this way at the age of 10 in 1969 when there was racial riots in Malaysia. But that was a local Malaysian riot where hundreds of thousands were killed. But that was when I was 10 years old. This is 61, and this is the first time I've seen. Suddenly, the world seems precarious. And that is on the back of Australian fires. Just before pandemic, having Australian fires, and also the various hurricanes in the last 12 months. And also the flooding in Jakarta, and also the riots in Hong Kong, which is totally out of our scanning, say 2 years ago, and also the drama in Malaysia, the Mahathir winning election, and then the reversal of it. So all this conspire and converge. And also the China-US tension suggests to me that we are going to go into a period of uncertainty, which at the highest level could be a time for opportunity too.